Did you know at this very moment, someone is on Amazon and Etsy actively looking for a quality coloring and activity book to add to their shopping cart? The only question is, will it be yours? Since you're listening to this podcast, hence the name of the show, it's pretty safe to assume that you have a keen interest in creating and selling your first or next coloring book. And it's for that reason I want to assure you you're in the right place. And I'd like to help you make it a reality by inviting you to check out the Coloring Book Creator Mentor Program, the first of its kind complete A to Z course that features live weekly coaching, resources, templates, and an extremely supportive online community, all designed to assure that you create a standout in-demand coloring book that you'll actually enjoy creating, promoting, and selling. Imagine the feeling of knowing somewhere in the world someone is adding your beautiful new book to their shopping cart, investing in a piece of your creativity. Enrollment is open and you can get started by going to coloringbookcreatorcourse.com. That's coloringbookcreatorcourse.com. Thank you and welcome to another episode of the Coloring Book Creator Podcast. I'm really excited to have you here for another interview with one of my Coloring Book Creator mentor students, Lisa Dolson, I'm going to introduce you to her in just a moment. Really excited to introduce you to her because she has done an amazing book and an amazing job in her story. I know that you will find very inspiring, especially if you are an artist or a creator in other disciplines and you've been thinking about possibly expressing yourself through a coloring book in addition to your other visual arts related activities. So if you're currently an artist, illustrator, photographer, what have you, in any other creative medium, and you've been thinking about doing a book, I know you're going to get a lot of value out of what Lisa's got to share with us today. So I'm going to go right into it and start off by saying, Lisa, thank you. Welcome. And how are you today?
I'm good, thank you, Rodney. Thank you for having me today. Yeah, as you said, I'm a freelance surface pattern designer based in Glasgow in Scotland. I've been doing that for quite a few years now. I always knew I wanted to be in a creative kind of career, but my path to it was not straight. As if you are a creative person, you find that you're drawn to different, as you were saying, different disciplines. So you might be attracted to painting or drawing, photography. Another thing that I do is hand embroidery. And I just feel like the benefit of being creative is so powerful because I feel like it gives you a kind of escape from the stress of real life at the moment and all the worries. And I just feel it's really important to take that time to be mindful. And if you can be creative in that way too, then that's a bonus. That's what I think.
Fantastic. As creatives, we are usually multi-channel. We have multiple ways that we
Mhm.
can express ourselves, which sometimes can be an asset and sometimes it can feel like a curse. It depends upon the day you catch us. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but to
true.
be able to express yourself in a variety of different ways is
Mm.
always, always exciting. Now, I want to ask you a question because I know we have our story about how you and I connected, but I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you before I share that part of it, what actually inspired you to even create a coloring book, even before you even heard about me or any of the things I'm doing?
Yeah. Okay, I just feel it's something that's been at the back of my mind ever since. It just takes me back to childhood. Ever since I was a little girl, I loved drawing. I always was drawing all the time. And another love I had was colouring books and just sit for hours colouring and just perfecting the shading and trying different colours. And it was just something that a huge part of my childhood. And it just takes me back to that carefree time of just having nothing to worry about but colour. I don't know why. It's something that just kept saying in my head, I think you should do a colouring book. And I think because my patterns all start with a hand drawing, just with a pen and my sketchbook. I started kind of colouring those in, and people would see it on social media and say, "Oh, I'd love to colour in your artwork. It just looks so relaxing." And so that always was something that I thought I really need to do this. And on top of doing textile design and doing art prints, it's another kind of way to show the world kind of thing, my artwork, and hopefully it benefits people as well. So I just, yeah, as you were saying, how we met, like I just kept thinking there must be something out there to kind of guide me through this. And I always feel like if you think about something and you want something like a goal, if you're focused, then the things will show up. Signs you'll be guided. I feel to do that in a way to achieve the final result of what you want. You might not know how to get there. That's okay. But if you have your end goal, then that's your vision, and you should just go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, so to speak. And I know when you reached out to me, you said you had discovered me, which I was really happy to hear you say that you discovered me through the podcast. So tell me,
Yeah.
how did you stumble upon my podcast? How did that happen?
Well, I don't know. I was walking with my dog as I do every day, and normally I would just stick my earphones in and listen to music, the same old playlist. And I thought, I'm going to see, I wonder if there's something out there. Because people had mentioned to me, why don't you listen to podcasts when you're out walking? And I thought, okay, that sounds different. That's fine. And then I just kind of put in the search that's to do with publishing your own colouring book, and there your podcast came up, Rodney. And there must have been about, I don't know, maybe 20 episodes or something. And I just kept listening to them as I was walking the dog, and it just the wheels were turning, and everything you were saying was like it just made sense. And I really liked the way you were talking, and you sound really friendly. And I thought I think I should connect with this guy because I think he knows. He obviously knows what he's talking about, and he's done it himself. And I just think it would be great to have that kind of guide and support to help you with your book. So that's when I decided I'm just going to message you on Instagram and see if you wanted to chat.
I was really excited to hear that. I've had the podcast now for about a year and a little
Hmm.
over a year, actually. I'm always saying to all of my mentees and everyone that I speak with, especially for many of us as creatives who maybe struggle in the area of putting ourselves out there. I always
Hmm.
say is find your lane, find that way that you naturally would enjoy expressing yourself, whatever that may be.
Hmm.
And don't think of it as marketing. Just think of it as I have ideas I want to share. I have, if it's artwork, if it's writing, if it's music, whatever your genre is, find that way that feels natural to you, like breathing to express yourself. For me, obviously, that's talking. So I'm much more comfortable in that way than I am on video, which is why I have a YouTube channel, but I'm rarely on camera, but I do enjoy just having conversation. And I too love podcasts, which is why I created one. I always say find that natural thing that you normally like to express yourself doing and just go for that 100%. In the end, I feel like will pay off for you. You really made my day when you told me that you heard about me on the podcast. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was great. I was so happy to find it.
Oh, thank you. So let's move right into what is the name. So now you found me through the podcast. You and I
Hmm.
connected. We had a little conversation. You decided to join me in the Coloring Book Creator Mentor Program. And that was a little over 2.5 months ago, actually, almost to the day. And
Hmm.
now your book is ta-da, done. So tell us, what's the name of your book and tell us what it's
Hmm.
all about.
Okay, my book is called After the Rain, and it is a collection of my hand-drawn illustrations within this book. And it's basically, hopefully, inspires people to be creative and mindful at the same time. And it's inspired by nature because I love to be out and walking amongst nature, and that's usually what inspires me to create art. I just think there's so much you can see in nature. It's just always inspiring. There's always something different. So particularly for this book, it's a kind of the metaphor of after the rain, that nice feeling of kind of relief after you go through something that's maybe a bit challenging in life or just anything. I think it's important to kind of reflect then and think, actually, just take a breather. Nothing's as bad as you really think, and hopefully with colouring, you can have that little escape and just keep yourself kind of grounded. And yeah,
Mhm.
so it's available now, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. And what has been the response so far? It's been a couple of weeks now since it's been out.
Yep, I think it came out beginning of this month. It's been great. I've had so many people, which is lovely, so many friends who have bought my book, all the people that have kind of been supportive of my artwork on when I share it on social media like Instagram or Facebook. I always have groupies, as I call them, but they're just so lovely, and they're always encouraging. They've been sending me pictures of them holding the book when they received it. People as far as Canada and in Scotland, and it's just been really lovely to hear their response, and they all really like it, and they're buying them for their friends for Christmas. So yeah, it's lovely.
Love it. And you're also doing a calendar as well, correct?
Yes, I've just done a calendar this year of my artwork. I've been wanting to do a calendar for a good few years now, but with life being so busy, before you know it, it's November and you haven't planned this calendar. So this year is the year, and I'm just actually picking it up from the printers today. So that's exciting. So I'm going to have that calendar and my book. So yeah,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
it's great.
So let me ask you this question, Lisa. So now that you've gone through the process and, and you've
Hmm.
actually published the book,
Hmm.
what's been some of your what's your biggest lessons that you've gotten out of the whole process? And how do you feel that having a book now is sort of enhanced your life or or changed your
Yeah.
perspective on creativity and all of that?
Okay. Well, the kind of challenges I found really, it was not the creating the content of the book itself, but it was more to do with the publishing side of things, when getting things right, the technical side, I suppose, with getting the pages right, with the printing and the size and whatever. But there was so many challenges towards the end with that, and I think that just made me even more determined that I wanted to make sure, one, I completed the book and it was published, and also that I was happy with it. And I just kept going, and I just thought, no, I'm came this far. I'm not giving up. I want to make sure that this book is published and available for people. So I think that was the main thing I kind of learned from it, that I'm quite resilient and quite a determined person. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what do you feel already, or what's inspiring you now that the book is done and now that you get to wear the identity of being a published
Hmm.
author? Your vision for where do you want to take this now that you have this beautiful book and this
Yeah.
new identity behind your name?
Well, hopefully it's the first of many books, because I'm working on my next one already, and I just really enjoy the whole process, and I think now I've got a better handle on how it works. So that's a bonus. All that hard work's been worth it. But yeah, I want my book to be available to as many people as possible. So I've got a few meetings with vendors across Scotland just now, and I'm hoping to take part in some live kind of book events if the shop and vendors take on the book. We're already talking about maybe having a live colouring session, and people can come along, and hopefully they would maybe sign up to do that on a regular basis, or even just buy the book and try it themselves, if maybe they didn't do colouring when they were younger, but maybe they want to be creative and not really confident in drawing, but they might want to enjoy colouring. So, and it's something you can do with your friends, and I just think it's got so many possibilities. So that's kind of um, really where I see the book, and I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to show it everywhere. I'm going to be selling it at the Christmas markets locally in the next couple of weeks, so I'm hoping that it'll be um, well received, and I'm hoping to chat to people about it and hopefully get them excited about colouring again.
Hmm. And do you anticipate or feel that now having this book and now being a published author is going to help? Because I know you said you were already doing surface design, pattern design, and you already have a whole
Hmm.
other business career that
Hmm.
you did before the book. Do you feel
Hmm.
that having now this new beautiful book is going to enhance you in other areas of your
Oh
already
yeah,
existing?
absolutely. Yeah, I do. I think the fact you can say you've published your own colouring book is amazing. I'm really excited about it, and I think it will lead on to new things as well.
Wonderful. I always say all the time that it's not so much about the book itself, but it's about who you become as the creator of the
Hmm.
book, going through the entire process. Like you mentioned, some challenges with
Hmm.
the book, the technical side of getting the book done, but
Yeah,
it made you more determined to actually get it done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, what would you tell someone who's listening, been thinking about creating a coloring book of their own,
Hmm.
and they're listening to the podcast and they're specifically listening to this interview with you?
Okay.
What would
Hmm.
you tell her or him in
Hmm.
terms of moving forward with creating their book and what the experience has been like working with me in the Coloring Book Creator Mentor Program.
Okay. If anyone is thinking about doing that, I would say definitely go for it. You have to kind of go with your instincts. If you have that idea that you want to do it, you just need an idea. I mean, probably a loose idea. It doesn't have to be concrete, but definitely I think the program is very worthwhile. I don't know if I would have been able to have achieved this book so quickly if I hadn't, well, I know I wouldn't have been able to if I hadn't signed up for your course, Rodney. And I think it's just been so valuable. The resources and the portal, everything is just there. You've thought of everything. And even if there is something, you can ask the question and you always come back and you're always helpful. And I think the community as well that you've created with the course is just lovely. Obviously, we've never met these people in person, but we all meet, and it feels like you do already know them because we're chatting and sharing ideas, and obviously I come into it later than the other people you had on the group, and they've all been so lovely and sharing their experience, and I think it's a great way to connect. So you're getting that support as well as the knowledge and the guidance for creating your book. And it's just everyone's so supportive when you've finally done your book. It feels like we're all rooting for each other. So I think if anyone's thinking about doing it, go for it. I just think life's too short. You have to just, if things come by and you think about it, just go with it. I think that is the important thing to do. And what's the worst that can happen? It might take you longer to do it, but you'll get there. There's no race. It's just your journey. And I think, yeah, people should definitely think about it.
When I created the program, I wanted to do something that would have been what I would have been looking for when I decided to do mine. And the number one thing that I'm most proud of with this program and with your participation, because all of you make it what it is as well, not just what I put together.
Mhm.
But what makes it very, I think, unique is that there's so many courses out there that you can go out and buy that just gives you all these videos and stuff and downloads. You will figure it out
Mhm.
on your own. And
Mhm.
I never wanted this to be that. I wanted to be where you could actually feel like you're a part of something more than just
Mhm.
content to download and being able
Yeah.
to connect with other people because we inspire each other. And let's face it, being an entrepreneur, artist, we work most of the time in isolation.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
we need that. I think we feed off each other when we have that sort of common interest and no one's after one another. There's no competition. All of your books are different. All of you are
Mhm.
different from all different backgrounds, but you can complement each other in such wonderful and beautiful ways. And so that energizes me a lot too. And you've been like a really beautiful breath of fresh air to have in the community because you're always excited and bubbly and just ready to be there and ready. And it just like doing such a welcome addition. So it's been such a treat to have you. So I'm really want to just
Oh,
take a moment to
thank
thank
you.
you for taking a chance on me and taking a chance on the program because we all enjoy you too. So thank
That's lovely. Thank you. No, I think it's wonderful. I think you're right because there's some courses I've been on and it's just like, here you go, download and get on with it. But yours is totally unique that way that, yeah, you do offer the support and it is lovely to meet new people and meet new friends through it because I connect with like Michelle and we're working on something for to help each other out with our social media content and stuff. So you just don't know what it's going to lead to. So yeah,
you.
it's great.
Wonderful. Well, let's see here. Only other question I have to ask you is where can we find your book?
Oh, yes. Okay. So at the moment, it's currently available on Amazon. So that's After the Rain by Lisa Dolson. But at the moment, I am going to be selling them in person as well, locally, and I'm excited about that. But also, I'm hoping to have it available to purchase via my website. That's what I'm working on right now. I'll have as well as other products like my calendar and some note cards and things like that. But at the moment, for now, the book's available on Amazon. So
Wonderful. And just for you all listening, I will place the links to all of Lisa's resources inside of the show notes here of this episode. So all of the things that she's mentioned, I will put those links in there so you can easily go and check everything out that she is doing and working on. And I have no reason not to believe that she won't be back with us again in the near future with her next new book. You're not even a month old with your
yeah,
book. You
yeah.
a lot of interest and attraction and attention. And I'm just so excited to hear some of the spin-off ventures that are coming or potentially
Mhm.
coming your way as a result of it. That really thrills me. So I'm really excited to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Yeah. With that said, everyone, Lisa, did you have any last words or any final thoughts? And otherwise, I'll wrap us up.
No, I just think it's a fantastic course, and I'm so glad I found it on the podcast. I just felt like I was guided to it, and it's just helped me so much. And I'm really excited about my book. So thank you once again, Rodney. That was great.
You're welcome. We're excited. I'm excited for you. I may be more excited for you than you are for yourself, but I'm excited
Oh,
for
thank
you.
you.
So thank you all for listening again. There's going to be some more interviews coming up soon. I have another new student that I'm going to be, well, not so much new student, but she's gotten her book done. I won't mention the name yet, but we're doing another interview there. Then I'm actually going to bring back some alum from the original when the podcast first launched to get an update on how they all are doing and progressing a year plus later. Just stay tuned to the podcast. I took a little hiatus from it over the summer months. I'm back into it full throttle. There's going to be a lot of new episodes coming out as we wrap up 2023, moving into 2024. Look for a variety of new and unique opportunities in which for us to connect and potentially work together. As I said, I am totally committed to this genre of book in particular because I just feel like so many people want to write a book or create a book. And I've written books, and the whole idea of writing a book can seem so daunting and so overwhelming. And in many respects, it is. But I just love this genre of book because it's generally much quicker to put together, but it has, to me, just as much validity as if you spent months or years writing a book. Because again, it's not just about the book, it's who you become as the creator of the book and the people in whose lives you touch as a result of them experiencing your book. So as Lisa is going out to the world, and she mentioned earlier ago about sort of rekindling those childhood experiences. We're all looking for we're looking for a respite. The world's very stressful with a lot of stuff going on simultaneously. There seems to be no safe place to land. And I just know from personal experience is having something like a coloring book or a journal or a planner or whatever, and just having that moment to yourself to reflect, to have a cup of tea or whatever, or a glass of wine, whatever your thing is, and just color and journal and daydream. It's never a bad time for that. And I know that Lisa's book, if you enjoy the genre that she illustrates in, which is florals, I know that you will get a lot of value out of it. I can't recommend her book enough. It's a beautiful book. And now that the winter months are coming, you're going to be in a little bit more so, or maybe a lot more, depending on where you live. So you'll have a lot of time to get yourself a nice set of pencils. Maybe consider putting this on your gift list to hand out to people who are looking for things to get you for Christmas this year. Hint, hint. I know that you will really enjoy it. So, with that said, thank you again, Lisa, for being with me today. Thank you for being a part and allowing me to be able to help you bring your vision to life. It means the world. Thank you all for listening to the podcast. I appreciate it very much. You don't know how much I appreciate it. And I will say this, let me know. Reach out to me. I'm going to put the links to I have a Facebook group called the Coloring Book Creator Club. Join that group and let me know that you've listened to the podcast and that you maybe listened to this episode with Lisa. And you can tell me what things you'd like to learn more, know more about for future episodes. I'm always open to new ideas. I do want to make the show about what you want to hear. With that said, thank you again, Lisa. And
Thank you, Rodney.
oh, you're welcome. And everyone, thank you and have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, or whatever time you're listening. And I'll see you on the next episode.